Today we're going to take a look at volume. In this unit, we are going to identify the three-dimensional figures, take a look at the vocabulary, and also we are going to find the volume of the three-dimensional figures. Let's look at the vocabulary involved when working with volume. What is volume? Volume is the amount of space in a three-dimensional figure. Cylinder is a three-dimensional figure with two congruent circles that are parallel to one another. Cone. It's a three-dimensional figure with one circular base opposite a single point. Sphere. It's a three-dimensional figure where all points are the same distance from the center point. Radius. It's the distance from the center of a circle to its outside. Diameter. It's a segment that passes through the center of a circle and whose endpoints lie on the circle. Now let's take a look at how to find the volume of a given three-dimensional figure. So let's look at a cylinder. The first thing you want to do is to write that formula down. It's V is equal to pi times radius squared times my height. So now let's go ahead and look at the information given so we can plug into our formula. So they give us radius, which is 4 feet. They also give us height, which is 12 feet. All we have to do is plug that information into our formula. So V is equal to, we know what pi is, and we are just going to use 3.14. My radius is 4, so I'm going to have 4 squared times my height, which is 12. So let's simplify that out. And we're going to have pi times my radius squared, which is 16, times 12. When we multiply all of that information, volume is equal to 602.88 feet cubed. Hope that's making sense. Let's look at volume of a cone. How do I find the volume of a cone? So the first thing you want to do is to write that formula down. Now I am just going to let you know you are also going to see V is equal to 1/3 pi times radius squared times your height. But I broke it down to show you that everything is being divided by 3, so you are going to see this formula most of the time. It makes it easier for you to know that you have to divide everything by 3. So now that we have our formula down, we are going to extract the information that's needed to plug into our formula. So we have diameter. Did they give us diameter in the formula? It's asking for radius. So how do we go about finding the radius when diameter is given? So the first thing you want to do and know, that's my diameter, which is 8. It goes all the way across from endpoint to endpoint. Now you need to know that the radius is half of your diameter. So our formula that we'll need to apply is we would have to divide the diameter by 2. So 8 divided 2 would give us half of my diameter, which is now my radius. The goal is to remember when the diameter is given, you have to divide it by 2 in order to find your radius. Hope that's making sense. So now that we got that information, let us go ahead and find the extra. Here's my height. So all of that goodness is going to get plugged into our formula above. So I have 3.14 times 4 squared times my height, which is 9. All of that information is being divided by 3. So we worked the top out. So we got pi 3.14 times my 4 squared, which is 16, times my height, which is 9. So we're going to multiply the top information and we're going to get 452.6, and all of that's going to be divided by 3, leaving us with a volume of the cone as 150.72 feet cubed. Hope that's making sense. And don't worry, we are going to have lots of practice in class. Lastly, we are going to find the volume of a sphere. The first thing you want to write down is your formula. The formula for a sphere is 4 times pi times your radius cubed divided by 3. You notice my radius is now cubed and not squared, so be careful. So now all we have to do is plug in the information. Volume is equal to my 4 times my 3.14 times my radius, which is 2.1 cubed, and all of that divided by 3. Let's simplify the top, and we are going to get 4 times 3.14 and my radius cubed, which is 9.261, and all of that goodness is going to get divided by 3. When you simplify out the top, it leaves us with 116.31816. Now you notice I did not round the top answer. I kept all the numbers involved, so please do not round. You just write every single number that showed up. You write it down, and now all of that's going to get divided by 3, leaving us with a volume of 38.77 centimeters cubed. Hope that is making sense to you right now. All right, let's wrap it up. Now pause the video and let's see if we can match the vocabulary to its correct meaning. Okay, let's see what you got. Volume, that's the amount of space occupied by any given object. Cylinder, that's 2 congruent circles that are parallel to each other. Cone, it's a circular base opposite a endpoint. Sphere, all points are the same distance from a center point. And lastly, what is the unit measure for volume? Volume would always be measured in cubic units. Hope that makes sense. Remember, you can always pause, rewind, rewatch as many times as you like.